We are going to be back in the online classroom. Yay, go online classroom. So this is going to be all of you guys over the next while. It's going to be you. You're all going to be typing. You're all going to become little keyboard warriors. And you're going to be doing lots of work on the computer. Lots of work on the computer. But first things first is rules. Rules for the online classroom, please. Who can tell me some rules? Laura, tell me a rule for the online classroom. Thank you so much.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Yep, definitely raise your hand. Why is raising your hand important? B, why is raising your hand important?
So we can answer questions.
Yeah, and ask questions too. If everyone's raising their hands at the same time, I ain't gonna know what you guys or who is trying to speak to me. Monkey, tell me another rule for the online classroom, please.
Don't play games in class and always keep your camera on.
Don't play games, keep your camera on. Why should you not play games in a classroom, Lily?
Because it will make you it will distract you from your work, and when Mr. Ryan asks you, then you won't know what he is saying.
Yes, that's very true. You need to make sure and you need to listen to what I'm saying. It's quite important. Thank you very much, Lily. Ming Cho, tell me another rule for the class.
Respect the teacher.
Respect the teacher. Yes, definitely respect me. I would be much happier if you respect me the whole time. So please keep respect. What are some ways that you can respect your teacher? What can you do to make sure your teacher is respected? Now talk. Okay, but what if I asked you to talk to me?
Quiet. Quiet.
Talk quiet, maybe. All right, Mireille, what's some ways that you can make sure that I get my respect?
We cannot close the cam saying bad words or
Okay, yeah.
unmute
Let's say
the class.
Yeah, don't say bad words or don't consistently mute yourself or unmute yourself. What else? Ava, tell me another rule. Imagine you're me. Imagine you're the teacher, and you are teaching all of these monsters online. What rules would you have for these monsters? What's another rule? Do you think?
Don't draw on your screen.
Don't draw on my screen. If I ask you to draw, then draw, but otherwise, don't do it, please. It's annoying. It means I have to delete it and turn it off. Don't do it. It's not cool. It's not funny. You're not doing anything which is spectacular. Just don't do it. Right. There's lots of rules, right? There's a lot of rules. Lots of people are sending me messages here in chat. Please. So there's many, right? I got some simple ones. Right? Simple ones for Ryan's class is you gotta pay attention. Okay, paying attention in an online class is so important. Our classes are shorter. I'm not walking around your house, right? You don't have a Ryan walking around your house saying, "Hey, pay attention! Hey, pay attention!" I can't do that. I don't exist in your home, so I can't do that. So for me to make sure that you are listening and getting the most out of the classroom, you guys got to make sure you're paying attention. Okay, you guys have got to make sure that you pay attention. Take part as much as possible. Okay, you got to take part as much as possible. That means that when I ask you a question, I want you all to raise your hand and all to give an answer. If I ask you how you feel about something, I want to know how you all feel about it. I want to know what you think. That's the way we get this classroom to work, okay? Raise your hand with Zoom. So exactly, you got a question. There's no point just putting your hand up. I have 20-something screens in front of me right now. It's very hard for me to start picking and choosing who is doing what or who's trying to tell me something. Just raise your hand in Zoom. What happens is anytime you raise your hand in Zoom, your little face goes to the top left of the queue. You become first person at the top of the queue. So I know if you've raised your hand recently because you go to the top of the queue. So right now, let's make sure everyone can do it. Can everyone please raise their hand? Make sure your homework's done. Now, this is going to be really, really, really important for what we're going to be doing with this project. A lot of this project is going to involve you guys having to speak and talk to each other, probably via Zoom or by some other online medium. That's something you guys need to decide amongst yourselves. But a lot of the work is going to require you guys sitting down and talking and putting ideas together. So in order to do that, you got to make sure your homework gets done. It's really, really important. And because you're working in a group, you're working in a project, it's not fair for just one person to do all the work either, okay? So you all got to do it together. Now, we'll talk about it more as we're going through what the steps of this project is, but it's good for you to know right now that your homework and getting your homework done is so important for this project, okay? I cannot say that enough. It's very, very, very important. I will help you as much as I can throughout the entirety of the lesson and the entirety of the project as well to get you the information that you need to help you when I can. But at the same time, on you guys, right? You guys got to make the effort. The only way you can make the effort is by doing your homework and getting it. So I'll explain more, right? So solid waste. When I say solid waste, you can tell me what they think that means. I'm not spoke to today. Minerva, what do you think solid waste is?
I think solid waste is waste that is solid.
Oh, congratulations. Solid waste is wasted solid. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, but what do I mean by solid waste? Like, give me an example of something that's solid waste. Who have I not spoken? Yes, Kent, give me an example of something that's solid waste. Think of something that you put into the trash that's solid waste.
A plastic can.
Yeah, plastic, right? Plastic is definitely solid waste. What else? Eraser. What else is solid waste?
Plastic can.
Okay, other than that, we just said that's something else. Cool. Sky, something else that's solid that you put in. Seeds. You put seeds in the bin. Solid waste. Lily, that's solid waste.
Solid waste, I think it is paper and scrap paper.
Paper, scrap paper. Good job. Well done. Annie?
Construction debris.
Construction debris. Like what?
Like the rocks or bricks.
Rocks and bricks. Okay, that's an interesting one. Lucy?
Glass.
Glass. Yeah, okay. Midday?
Peelings.
Yeah, food, definitely, 100%, right? Elsa?
Aluminum.
Yeah, cool, right. So lots and lots of solid waste, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a project on it. In this project, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at different types of solid waste, the impact of solid waste, how solid waste can be harmful, how waste can cause pollution. How do we actually get rid of waste? I'm also going to ask you to start measuring waste as well and classifying waste in some details. So that's a really quick idea. So if I said solid waste project, what do you think you're going to do? If I say you're going to do a project on solid waste, what do you think that means? Just quickly. Any ideas? Doesn't really matter. I don't care if you're right or wrong. I just want you to talk. P, what do you think I mean by solid? No. Eva, what do you think I mean by solid waste project? Oh, there we go. P, thank you. What do you think I mean?
I think about the pollution.
Okay, pollution, maybe. Yeah. Ava, what do you think it means?
What is that solid waste pollution project?
Yeah, possibly, right? So the way you're going to be going about this is you're going to be doing a lot of research, right? At the end of this project, what you're going to do is you're going to create a PowerPoint, okay, in your groups. So your groups are going to create a PowerPoint or a poster. It depends. If we can get back to school, back to class, I'll get you guys to do a poster, okay? But if we don't get back to school, we'll do a PowerPoint. Maybe we'll do a PowerPoint and a poster. That sounds fun. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to give you some more detail and more information. So first thing you do is you're going to work in groups, okay? So I think the best thing that we can do now, okay, how many girls do we have in the 3 group? So 4. So that's 2 groups of 5, 1 group of 4, or 4 3s and no 2 3s and 2 4s. Let's do 2 3s and 2 4. Okay, so groups are Elsa, Rosie, Minnie, and Ming Cho, Annie, Ginny, Sky, and Laura, Lily, P, and Ava, Lucy, Minerva, and Emily, E, Dino, Kent, and James, Pencil, Monkey, and Bill, and A, Pizza, and Eraser. All right, sound good? Right, now, what you guys are going to have to do is you're going to have to work together in groups to solve and figure out problems such as solid waste. Why is solid waste harmful to the environment? What is solid waste? You want to be able to answer and look at as much of these questions as you can and try to answer them with your projects, okay? So what you're also going to be doing is you're going to be classifying the waste there is in your own homes, okay? So what you need to be able to do is think about the different types of waste that you are getting rid of. Is it disposable? Is it compostable? Is it glass? Is it plastic? What type of waste exists, okay? And what you're going to be able to do, what I want you to do is break it down. I don't want you to just have all of the waste in one. I want you to break the waste up into food and disposable. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday, but this is what I want you to think about doing, okay? And this is the part where I know all of you are going to go, but I want you to measure your waste. I want you to measure how much trash you are throwing out every single day. I want you to measure in kilograms. And I want you to measure it by the classification that you use as well. So when you separate the waste into the different classifications, I want you to be able to measure how much of that waste is in each one as well. Okay? Now, you're going to do this every day for about 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, every single day, I want you to measure the waste that is coming from your own home and also from your neighbors' homes as well. Okay. I don't want you to just do in your own home. I want you to do your neighbors' homes too. Ideally, I would like you to have your waste plus 2 neighbors' wastes. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that so far? Everyone understands? You measure in kilograms the waste that is coming from your own home and is coming from your neighbor's home as well. Now, I know that some of you may not have neighbors or may not have nice neighbors. That's fine. These things happen. It's okay. If that is the situation in which your neighbors do not want to share their waste with you, I can accept that. I would like for you all to try, okay? Don't just say, oh, he's not going to let me do it, but at least try, okay? The more information you have, the easier it will be to see the impact of what you're going to do, right? Now, also, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to research about the ways in which Vietnam, Hanoi, actually gets rid of waste at the moment. Now, I'm going to show you all this as well. I have a video for the end of this class to give you an idea. I want you to research these things too, okay? I want you to figure out what ways does Vietnam actually get rid of their waste? Because what happens when you put your waste in outside? Somebody picks it up, then what happens? Who knows what happens to your waste after it gets picked? Magically disappears? No, it goes somewhere else, right? What I'm going to ask you to do is to do research about that too. What's the current processes that are being used? Are these processes good? Are these processes harmful for the environment? Are they causing extra pollution as well? And in some cases, actually are. So that's what I'm going to ask you to research too, okay? Last thing I want you to do is I want you to come up with a solution to tackle the waste problem, okay? I want you to come up with an idea about how to reduce the amount of waste that is currently being created in your homes or even in your neighbors' homes. And then I'm going to want you to measure the difference, okay? Now, I won't ask you to create this plan until the weekend, next weekend. So we've got a lot of time to think about it and discuss it in the meantime. But we're going to be learning about solid waste and you're going to be starting to measure solid waste. So you're going to see the amount of waste that is actually being made by your own home, okay? So once you see that and you can see the amount of waste which is being made, whether it's food waste or plastic waste or glass waste, whatever it is, then you can start to come up with an action plan, a way to reduce this waste so far. And then the final thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to have to present your findings, okay? You're going to have to create a PowerPoint within your group or a poster, and then you're going to have to present what your poster is actually talking about. So that's the step-by-steps, the research you did, the current ways that Vietnam gets rid of waste, the action plan you decided to use, how effective your active action plan was. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing for this project over the next 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe even a bit longer. Anybody have any questions about? Let's go straight up to the top. Okay, so the working in groups. How are you guys going to work together in groups? What are you going to do? How are you going to?
I think we should say what we should be doing, and then we discuss about the topic one by one.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. That's perfect. Where are you going to discuss this topic? Where are you going to chat? Today.
By what we can discuss about the topic by researching about the topic and get some great ideas, and then we will compare with each other and then see whose idea is the best.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's perfect. Good job. But where are you going to talk?
We are going to talk at Zoom.
Right. So my question to everyone is, do you all have each other's Zoom contacts?
Yes, I have pizzas and booze.
Cool, good stuff. Now, anyone who doesn't have any of the contacts, Miss Yen and I will put all of the email addresses into a form for you guys, so you can make sure you can get each other on Zoom. Make sure you're not missing anyone. Make sure you chat, set up a group chat, put in information that you find, some research that you find, organize a Zoom chat where you can all sit down and have a conversation, okay? And question?
Except for doing this research in PowerPoint, can I do in the Google slide, because
Yeah,
my
fine.
PowerPoint
Yeah, that's no problem.
select already.
That's okay, that's fine. To be honest, like if you all use Google Slides, you can all work on the presentation at the same time. So I would advise you to actually use Google Slides, okay? Because if we use Google Slides and you have 4 people in a group, 4 people can actually work on the same presentation at the same time, okay? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly show you the homework, okay? For tonight. Now, homework is just a simple Google form. And in this Google form, I want you to basically start to plan out, get an idea about what you're going to be doing for this project. So there are some simple questions that I want you to follow, okay? So who are the members of your group? Tell me who they are. Tell me who is in each of your groups. How do you intend to do this project? What steps will you take? What research will you do? So again, start picking out things and putting in the questions that you're going to start answering with this project. I don't want you to write down answers. I want you to start thinking about what it is you're going to do. What answers are you going to give with your project? Start thinking about these things because it'll make it easier for you to do going forwards. Who's going to be doing each task? I would like everyone in the group to have certain tasks that they are going to do. So your meeting tonight, when you talk with your group, is going to be, okay, who's doing what? Who's doing the introduction? Who's doing the conclusion? Who's going to research what solid waste is? Who's going to research what pollution is caused by solid waste? Who is going to research ways to get rid of solid waste now? So this is what I want you all to have planned out by tonight and tomorrow, so that tomorrow's class, we can spend some time talking about it, make sure you guys are on the right track. Then what areas will you research as well? Tell me what you're going to research. I don't want you to spend too much time researching tomorrow. I'd rather you just work as a team, decide who's doing what in the team, because tomorrow what I'll do is I'll show you how to do some research. Okay, I'll take some time in the classroom and show you the ways in which you can get information to help you solve these questions. Okay, sound good? All right. Okay, so that's going to be your homework for tonight. What I'm going to do now is going to show you a quick video to give you some insight into the ways. Yeah, Laura, I'll get everyone's information. Don't worry. Okay. Sorry, I just have like 28 chats there, and it's hard for me to answer chats and go through this at the same time. So let me show you this video. There's some interesting stuff in this video as well. I want you to pay attention to the video. Pay attention to different types of processes that are being used at the moment to actually get rid of waste.
Plastic bags are good at holding groceries, but how are they at powering a house? Most of us don't think so much about trash, especially if we live in an industrialized country where we get curbside pickup. But here are some important statistics. 32% of municipal waste is recycled. Another 13% is incinerated, and that leaves the rest, which is over 50% or 1,000 pounds per year per American citizen, to sit in a landfill to decompose, or not decompose. You see, most metals and plastics can take thousands of years to break down in a landfill. And because we have future generations on the way and they're going to be generating their own waste, this is something we have to think about. Well, how does the stuff get to the landfill in the first place? There's some places that have gotten a little creative with this, like Helsinki, Finland. They're building out a system of pneumatic tubes. So what you do is you sort your waste and you put it in various bins or chutes, and then it flies through these tubes to screw tanks. There are other places like Roosevelt Island, New York, that are doing the same thing, but the one in Finland has some special features. For example, those tanks have sensors on them, so they can alert you to when those tanks are full and a crew can come out and empty it out. They also can track where the trash comes from. That's important. It means that they know who is generating the most garbage, like a manufacturing plant, and those people get charged more for collection services. But that still leaves us with the problem of what to do with all these landfills.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
No, we're not going to shoot it out into space. That doesn't make economic sense. The environmental impact would be terrible. I mean, you might as well pay people $1 million to pour a gallon of oil in the nearest river. But an idea that is getting some traction is plasma gasification. In this process, extremely high voltage electrical current is passed between two electrodes, generating a temperature near 25,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than the surface of the sun. Because this process takes place in a no-oxygen environment, there's no actual burning going on here. Instead, that energy is breaking down the molecular bonds of the trash itself, freeing the component atoms. They become either a synthetic gas or molten slag. And here's the really awesome part. That synthetic gas can actually be turned into fuel that will run the plasma waste converter itself. And if you generate enough synthetic gas, you can actually generate enough electricity to feed back into the power grid. And what about the landfill that's not in a landfill? There are islands of plastic floating in the ocean, like one in the Pacific that's about the size of Texas. What do we do about those? Bacteria are really good at getting rid of stuff. Could we use that? A student in Canada back in 2008 tried to do just that and isolated the bacteria and found that it could break down plastic in about 3 to 4 months. But whether you could make that a large-scale operation is another question. Maybe the solution is in new design. Biopolymers, plastic not made of corn, but from bacteria, with a half-life of 18 months. We're talking plastics that actually biodegrade in the sea. Now, the nano-optimists out there say that nanotechnology will save us. We'll create these little nanobots that'll break the garbage down into its component atoms. Now, as for me, personally, I think the best kind of trash is no trash at all. We've got a question for you. How would you solve the trash problem? Leave a comment and
There we go. So how would you solve the trash problem? So what types of processes did he talk about for getting rid of trash?
Place they made a machine that connects from different recycle bins at different places, and when people fill up those bins, then they will transfer it to a center to the system, and the tubes also have sensitive feeling, so they can track down where the trash came from, and
Yeah, cool.
so that they can charge more.
That's good. That's good one. What are some other ways? What are some simple ways they use to get rid of trash?
Get rid of trash, they burn it.
Yeah, they burn it. They incinerate it, right? Big, large incinerators. These incinerators then, you think they cause pollution?
Yes, they release toxic gas
Yeah,
into
it's
the
not,
atmosphere.
it's not good, right? Incinerators are not good. What's another way we saw from the video that people are just getting rid of trash? Very, very simple one. They should just throw it.
Throw to river.
No, it's not the river. What's another way that we saw from that video? Look at that first picture of the video. So the first thing in the video is it's a picture of a landfill, right? A landfill is just an area where trash is thrown. It just waits to degrade, waits to be destroyed. Plastics and metals don't degrade. They don't get destroyed. The idea of a landfill doesn't work. If you just keep filling and filling a landfill, well, more people come onto the planet, and they just keep filling up the landfill. Not really a good solution to the problem, is it? No. These are things that I want you to look at with your project, okay? I want you to be able to look at and answer, like, what's solid waste? How does solid waste impact the environment? What are some ways that we're trying to get rid of waste? Have a look to see if, are these ways efficient? Are these ways good? Are they helpful for the environment? Some of them aren't. The plasma gasification one, that's pretty cool. So again, these are things that I would encourage you to look at when you're doing your project, okay? Is get an idea, get an understanding about what current methods are used. Can we make them better? Can we develop a plan to help with these waste issues? Like, how do we solve the waste problem? And that's what I want you to be looking at with your project. Before we finish, yes, P, quickly.
Can you send the link to the link of
don't
the
worry.
video?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll send the whole presentation. Don't worry. Yes, Monkey.
And I think
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Unless there's no more questions now. Okay, right. So I'll get you that form. Make sure this, Lucy, do you have a question?
Can you send the homework into the chat?
Yeah, I'll get Miss Yen to send it to you. Don't worry. Remember, you need to do your homework as your groups, okay? You complete it as your groups, not on your own, and in your groups. So you need to set up a meeting today with the people in your group at the time that suits all of you, and then sit down and do your homework together, okay? All right, cool. Right, goodbye, everyone.